for me, some of the dumbest people I've met have given me some of the best ideas because they might be dumb at what I do, but they're not dumb at why. Date tech. Marry your target audience.
Welcome to the Art of Kaizen for Entrepreneurs, growing 1% everyday podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Art of Kaizen for Entrepreneurs podcast, where we discuss how to grow 1% every day in your business and your life. Today we have Jason Wood joining us. Jason has developed a proprietary approach to targeting your customers online with thousands of ad dollars and spike your advertising success. Thank you, Jason, for joining us.
Yeah, man, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So Jason, your company is specificity.com. Can you give me a little bit of breakdown? You're talking a little bit of offline and got me super excited as a media buyer about the service and the tools that you offer. Can you break down not just what you developed, but why you created it?
Yeah, you know, the why I think is the better sequitur. I've been in ad tech, roughly 20 years. I've owned agencies for, ballpark 15, 16 of those years. What you've seen over the last decade and a half is a very specious play as demand is ramped up, right, for digital marketing ad space. Inventory isn't meeting demand. And the moves that we've seen them make with data accuracy, with, Apple made their iOS 14.5. They called it consumer privacy. Really, it was just their grab for some of those ad dollars. It's a $650 billion a year industry controlled by big tech and way beyond our legislature to even pretend to know how to regulate it. So it's the Wild West. And the guys with all the money make all the rules, and that's the world we live in. I wanted to create something that would not allow just big brands like Specificity partners with, but also even the SMB market. So we have put through, which is the same tech stack, but scaled down for that, to be able to push back and to be able to navigate the ad tech landscape and get what we all pay for, which is one-to-one ad serve in terms of human beings. If I pay for an ad, I want a human to see it, right? Can we start with that as a baseline? And you just can't find it anymore. So you've got to build tools that'll get it for you.
And for everybody that's listening, that's not deep into the ad space and have a clear understanding of this, when we're looking at advertising in the back end and we spend $100,000 on paid ads, let's even say $1,000 on paid ads, the numbers never line up. We see all these clicks coming to the website. We see all this engagement happening, but nothing is leading to revenue generating efforts. And what we find as media buyers is a lot of this is bots. A lot of this is not real customers. It's not real people that are actually clicking on the ads. And Jason at Specificity is fixing that. So obviously you have a love for business. You have a love for this open advertising and marketing. Can you talk a little bit about what Specificity does today and how you guys are helping people to make sure their ad dollars are actually reaching real people?
Yeah, man. So the ad tech world all boils down to bidos and maids, right? Bidos is an acronym that basically means the person. So on Meta, your bido is your profile page. Same with TikTok and other social. On DSP, the mobile ad IDs are the bido and the maid, but the bidos, think of the bidos as people. MAID is an acronym that stands for mobile ad ID. These are the active devices we have in our life. Every device you have has a MAID, a mobile ad ID. Your tablet, your phone, your laptop, your connected TV, everything you access the internet that we can serve an ad to has a MAID. Consumer survey data and industry data across the board says the average consumer has 3.2 to 3.4 active mobile ad IDs. In other words, we all have 3 or 4 devices where you can actually, I'm in front of it enough, you can sequence a campaign and serve me ads. The problem is let's take a deep dive on that. What's Meta's platform look like in the bido to maid ratio? It's somewhere between 20 and 24 bidos or maids for every bido. So they're saying that there are 24 mobile ad IDs that they can serve you an ad on. And what is that? That's the phone you turned in 4 years ago, still attributed to you, that has now been sold to a third world country as part of a buyback program through Verizon. So it's attributed to the person who's actively using it, but they're still serving your ads to that device. And it's mechanical traffic, it's bot traffic, bot farms, it's all of that coming together to dilute your spend. And what we absolutely know as an industry is 56% of every ad dollar you spend is going to serve ads to bots or maids or mechanical maids. So in other words, 56% of the ads you're serving that you're paying for, never seen by a human being, and that's across platform. It's a little worse on Google, but they kind of get to call the rules as they see it.
Man, it's a stab right in the heart for all the business owners listening that realize that 50% of their advertising dollars is going out to nothing, but you're fixing that problem. I mean, outside, it's a big issue here. It's a very big issue, and it seems like you're confronting it face forward. And not only do you understand the products, the service, and obviously from the acronyms that I've never even heard before, you're deep into this business. What do you find is the biggest problem in the industry, right? Is the fact that people don't know this? Is it a fact that people are ignoring it? Or is there something deeper in this industry when it comes to actually understanding our ad dollars reaching customers that you're seeing every single day?
It's complex as hell, and frankly, the people that sit at the big tables are the ones that are in control of most of the monetization, and ad agency owners are go along to get along. There's whatever. Let me kiss Zuckerberg's ass. Maybe I'll get a special favor. And at the end of the day, they don't give a figgity fuck about your ad spend. Right now, if you just do simple math, here's what we know is a $650 billion industry. There are not enough organic human beings on platform to come close to meeting the demand. So how are they backfilling that? They're doing it with mechanical traffic, and their idea of fair is screwing you in an equal percentage. What we say at specificity is that's insane. No other industry would survive that. If we all went to the grocery store to buy a dozen eggs every single week, and every single week we came home and 6 of the eggs had no chicken in the shell, there would be mass litigation. There would be all kinds of regulation. But we're at a point in history where Congress is too stupid to understand the problem, much less diagnose it, much less regulate it. So you've got big tech who have proven over and over and over again they are not good actors. They're willing to suppress speech, favor certain advertisers, etc. These are the guys we're entrusting to make the rules. And at specificity, we say, fuck you. We're going to build tech stacks. This is our fourth iteration, third since we've gone public, to navigate this, to give the big middle finger to ad tech, big tech, and say, no, we will go after human beings. And we're using a first-party device graph to accomplish that right now. So we're not trying to solve your problem after you've wasted your money with traffic on your site. We are solving the problem by eliminating mechanical and bot traffic and fraudulent traffic at the point of audience identification. With us, you don't serve the ads to the bullshit audiences.
Jason, I mean, absolutely. And you're right, man. If anybody watched the interview with Mark Zuckerberg or any of the social platforms in Congress, it was disgusting to hear some of the questions that they were asking and the lack of comprehension they have of what this actually is and what they're doing here. It's horrible. I mean, idiots. But at the end of the day, you're understanding the field and you're diving into it in a way that's helping the customer front facing. Let's talk about the ideal customer, right? Because obviously the mom and pop shop that wants to spend $250 on ads. This wouldn't really affect them too much. They're just hoping to get out into the market a little bit. Do you have an ideal customer profile that you at Specificity is looking for to actually support?
Well, we've got a couple different vehicles, and we're going to be launching a third vehicle, which will be a self-serve platform, either Q1 or Q2 next year for that $200, $300, $400 spender. It'll be a self-serve platform, much like you go on and upload your ad on Meta, only it'll just run your audience ID through our tools to get rid of the bot traffic. But at the end of the day, so for us, our ideal customer is anybody that sells a product or a service to a person or a company. We are not limited by vertical market because our focus is audience, and every audience is different, even within the same vertical market. There are value proposition, market positions different in the same vertical that require a different audience ID. Look, we're data geeks at the heart of what we do, and we're a marketing firm, customer facing. So we can make the dope creative and do all of that. But we've got a tech stack and a group of geeks that'll damn well make sure that whatever it is we agree to put forth into the marketplace goes into the marketplace of people, not the trash can of bots.
And into the marketplace of people. I love that. To build something like this, not only do you have to have a high level of knowledge and understanding of the industry, understanding of how the systems are actually working, but you got to go through some trials and tribulations as you go through it, I'm assuming. I mean, you've probably gotten smacked a few times in your process of making it. You're smacking people in the process. Right? People are making billions, you're going after them. What do you think was the biggest challenge you faced in building Specificity, and kind of how has that set you up today for defining success?
The biggest challenge we had was the clear and frankly just undeniable reality that big tech doesn't control it either. So you have the iOS update, which really screwed with data accuracy first, right? Killed app tracking data. Now they can't tell that you have a mortgage because they can see your banking app. Now they're just generalizing it, right? So now it becomes geolocated Tampa, and they're in a house dwelling structure. So whether you own it or not, if you're in Tampa, half the people here lease, they don't own. So there's half your ad budget wasted even on the. So our first play was just to leverage the data market, build these audiences outside of that universe, and then publish on platform. But as that problem, the data accuracy problem worsened, big tech saw an opportunity to eliminate transparency and deal with more bot traffic. So that's now you find yourself with the AI algos. And the AI algos, the only way they can really drive a better result is if on platform, they inform their AI algos how to distinguish between organic and mechanical mobile ad IDs. That's the only way you can get a lift with an AI algo. The second they do that, even our idiots in Congress will say, "Oh, I think that's fraud," because they're purposely giving you bot traffic now. They can't deny it. They're doing it now. They just can kind of mask it. The biggest challenge we had was the inherent market volatility. So we came to market, raised money, built this tech stack, and then the whole market shifted about 18 months ago. So we had to raise more cap, build and burn, bring on a new partner with this first party device graph, and go right back into market. And that's where we're at now. We're ready to scale. We're ready to bring this solution to market in a big way. And by the way, we're going to leverage AI. We're doing our own AI build out for audience identification. That's going to be really I'm going to call it a hedge against big tech. We're going to train our AI algos to pick up the changes they're making on platform and to be able to roll with them as they do it.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
one thing I got to congratulate you for the malleability and the ability to change and flow with the times. 2020 was a crazy year. And if you were building a tech stack for what we had prior to that, and then 2020 comes in plus the iOS update, you got hit with multiple different data factors that are really going to harm what you were building. And then you just pivot, weave, and you're right in the next spot to find success. And then even taking it to the next level of understanding, hey, we know AI is around the corner. We know it's about to be integrated into the algorithmic structure. What does that really have to do? And you hit the nail on the head. For an AI to truly understand, you have to label that we have been giving you bots. And these are the difference between bots and real people. And then once that's out into the world, I think there's going to be, I mean, you saw what Apple just did with meta advertising, right? Adding their additional tax if you're going to do it through platform, right? I think there's going to be a lot of that. My question to you is, you're so ingrained into this, where does the next 5 years look like, right? Are we going to see more transparency and more people like you coming out into the light and saying, this is it, we're here to help, and this is the real data? Or do you think there's just going to be more of shoving it underneath the rug?
No, I think what you're going to see is consumer sentiment always lags behind technology a couple, 3 years. And I think what you're seeing now is a groundswell. Gen Z, for all their faults that you can say, one of the things they want is autonomy, something the boomers weren't even aware of. Gen Xers are like, who cares? Because we're Gen Xers. We don't care about any of it. And then millennials were starting to make sounds like, why am I having to give up this data just to be on your platform? Autonomy is going to be the play in Web 3.0. And brands are going to do one of two things. They're either going to do what they did between Web 1.0 and 2.0, which is just build a dope-ass destination and hope everybody magnet marketing, everybody will just find us. Or they're going to build the bridge to bring those brand loyal audiences with them. You're going to need mobile ad ID technology to do that, because as tech goes more and more wearable, right? You and I were just talking about these. Like these ad serving opportunities on smartwatches and wearable tech and in-dash tech and all these things, that's going to grow. But you're going to see consumer sentiment push back harder and harder on the drive to have autonomy. People don't want to give up their data. They're starting to see the ugliness that it brings back at them. Look, political marketing is smarter now than it's ever been, thanks to big tech. And what that means is, if you're a high frequency voter, which is what we want in this country, right? We want voter turnout. You are getting clobbered with political ads absolutely everywhere. You're getting it worse than the person that only shows up to 1 out of every 3 election cycles. If you're a high frequency voter and you vote 2 out of 3, your news feeds are just, you might as well set them down and just start mailing letters again, because your whole news feed, your whole online life is nothing but political ads. You see it on TV, which is a shotgun approach in your mailbox, but now it's making its way onto ad tech, and data is facilitating that. That's because they have your data. Consumers are wanting less transparency with big tech and wanting more autonomy. And I think Web 3.0 is going to deliver with blockchain technology and different user experiences on the destination side. And we're prepared for it because we are at the mobile ad ID level.
Customer autonomy. And if you're listening as a business owner, you need to understand that you don't own any of the followers that you have, any of the people engaging on your social media, any of the TikTok, any of the YouTube subscribers. None of that is owned. You are borrowing that time from the platform. And what Jason's talking about here is having the ownership of that customer. So how important it's going to be to own your email list, to make sure that you've gone through the process of creating an actual network with your people that want to be shared with you, want your information, and you're building that network and building a system where if a person doesn't want to share their information to the world, they want to share it with you, and you own that process because you're giving good value. You have a system that solidifies you inside of your ecosystem, not sharing that data out to the world. I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't agree more.
You know, another part of our play, one of the other advantages, and I don't want to get over my skis here, but one of the other advantages of what we're doing is the legal compliance piece, because we're pulling it through a first party device graph and then serving ads. The minute we serve an ad, and they don't have to click. The minute we serve an ad to an audience, we can legally de-anonymize, and we can de-anonymize 50 to 80% of that data, move it into a customer data platform so you can have name, address, demographic profile, email, and phone number where they're legal, all of that. So you can do cross-channel marketing and do that text campaign and do that email campaign to that market audience. It's not taking action on platform. And so many of us have been burnt by the TikTok shop and the Meta shop where you buy, never see it, and good luck getting your money back. And people are starting to get hesitant there. You see it growing, but it's growing in younger generations. Time value on platform purchasing, you see diminished levels of purchasing starting to come into the data. This play lets you as a business owner, you own that data. You can email people that would prefer the email. You can text them if they prefer the text. You can do ringless voicemail drops around holidays and events. You can do all this stuff. And you're not, look, date tech, marry your target audience.
Marry your target audience. I love that. I worked a lot of business brokers when I started off in my agency, and that was the one thing that they said was a huge identifier between the valuation of a company from one company to another. You could have the same let's say same home improvement company doing 5 million here, doing 5 million here, but this 5 million company does not have any data inside of their internal business of the ownership of their customers. They were using paper and Excel sheets that they barely organized. Well, the other company had a CRM where they own the internal data and the interest and the information of that customer, and the evaluation of that company was much, much higher when they went to sell than the other company that was doing the same amount of revenue but didn't own their customer data. So, I mean, Jason, you're hitting the nail on the head, and it's exactly where I believe the evolution is going to, is that we need to create our network, our ecosystem of our customers. We need to know our customer profile. We need to actually engage them in content that makes them want to hear from us and want to talk to us and be a part of our ecosystem. So you're obviously extremely knowledgeable. You're on top of it. I've said it multiple times now in this podcast. You're impressing me as we go through this. One of the questions I always ask that I'm curious about is Kaizen. The name of our company, Kaizen, is a Japanese business term that is explained as a focus on finding 1% improvement in yourself and in business every single day. My question to you is, you're so knowledgeable. How do you find your Kaizen? What are you doing to stay on top of all these new things and understand how to be better at least 1% every single day, especially in your field, which are the acronyms and everything that you brought up in this call this far are not normally, they're not common sense, right? It's not general knowledge. But how do you stay on top of it? Where do you find your Kaizen?
People, man. I mean, for me, some of the dumbest people I've met have given me some of the best ideas because they might be dumb at what I do, but they're not dumb at life. And some of the wealthiest people can't structure a proper sentence together to write you a letter and deliver to you that they're wealthy. They can't make you think that through their communication, skill set. So there's all kinds of different intelligences. And when you're dealing with marketing, generally speaking, you're dealing with the public, everybody. Even in B2B plays, you're dealing with all kinds of liberals, conservatives, right? So vegan, steak, just you name the category and you find an eclectic mix. So why would you relegate your information gathering circle to just a monolithic group of people that have a similar skill set to you? Broaden your skill set and incorporate more mindsets on who you let influence your thinking. And I'm telling you right now, you'll see different parts of your business that you're like, I'm a sales CEO, right? I like sales, marketing, I'm aggressive in tech. That's me. I'm not a CPA minded guy. You give me an Excel spreadsheet and I'm going to take a nap or I'm going to go play golf. I'm not touching it. At the end of the day, why would you come to me for CPA advice? So if you're a CPA minded CEO, or a money runner minded CEO, why surround yourself with other people like that? Get yourself a marketing friend that you can banter back and forth with. Get a blue collar guy that has a common sense, elbow grease approach to the very white collar thing you're doing. Make that part of your team, and pretty soon you'll find out you've got a diverse group of people that come from way different styles of thought influencing how you're approaching technology. And that's how you arrive at the best tech play you can make, is to figure out how to fight big tech, not partner with them. Now, we all have to partner with them to serve the ads, and the monetization, they will always monetize on us because they own the platforms. But at the end of the day, our job as agencies is to fight the very specious plays they make, because that's what this ad tech industry has turned into. It's the big guys doing everything they have to monetize for themselves because they have shareholders that are beholden to. They don't give a shit about the end user client that's hustling for the local jewelry store owner or the car dealer or the regional roofing company. They don't give a flying about any of those guys. They care about share price going up and moral dominance. That's not the game we're playing in marketing. We're playing the ROI game, and that starts local.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a world that everyone's moving into. Everyone needs to start looking at how their direct dollars are reflecting back on the revenue coming in. And as you said, if 56% of those advertising dollars are going to bots, it's going to be very hard to have a profitable campaign on the back end of that. So,
well, who's seen improvement in their PPC ROI in the last 7 years? I mean, show me one company that has taken a similar approach to PPC and seen an improvement. Those numbers are going down because click fraud has gone up. There is a direct corollary between those two numbers.
Yeah, and as for everyone understands, if you haven't been doing PPC ads, you're getting paid per click, or you're charged per click. You're paying that platform for every click you come to your website, and at 50% plus, because you said Google might be even a little worse.
63. Google's 63% really rapid click fraud.
63% click fraud. So again, if you're spending $1,000 in a month, 630 of those dollars you can burn. You could just put it on fire. It's not going to actually grow your business. And Jason Wood here at Specificity is fighting that battle versus big tech to be able to give you, the business owners that want to actually grow, the opportunity for your ad dollars to hit real people. I love it. Jason, I got a bonus question for you. It's a little outside of business, but have you ever read the book Atlas Shrugged?
Yeah.
Okay.
Long time ago.
Yeah, very, very long book, super long. But I ask this question at the end of every podcast because I'm curious what people would do on the concept of what if, and if you guys haven't heard about it, the book Atlas Shrugged is based around the concept that all of us business owners here, we put the world on our shoulders. All the difficulties, all the pressures, everything that the world has to offer, we throw it on our shoulders, we lift it up, and we carry it every single day to move the world forward. But what happens if all of us, you, Jason, me, all the other business owners, we just throw the world off our shoulders and we shrug off all the pressure and all the businesses cease to exist? If that happened today, tomorrow, what would be the first business you would start?
Ammo manufacturing.
I love it, man.
Yeah, I would probably get into some supply chain type of business, right? I would get a hold of all of my friends that I know own their own vehicles outright and say, all right, guys, we're gonna contact the grocery stores and we're gonna start a food delivery business between farm and something like that, something rudimentary, because man, businesses stop existing. And I think people, especially a certain segment of this country that's eat the rich, they don't understand how much guys like us, even at the small level to the big level, play a role in their daily ability to function. They just don't get how integral business owners are in that A to B process from wake to sleep. And so that's probably where I would go.
I love that. The ammo one's hilarious, but but honestly, serving to help people. Jason here is obviously, I have a huge heart, and he really cares about his clients. He really cares about business owners out there, and it shows even in that. If there was no business in the world, what would he do? He would find a way to support people and move things to help people. Jason, I love it. Give us a little breakdown how people can find you. Obviously, if you are a business owner spending ads today and you are pissed off at how much money is getting burnt on bots and not on real customers, you need to sit down and talk to Jason Wood at Specificity. How would these people find you, Jason?
Yeah, if you go to specificity.com, you can catch us there. If you like the rated R, really blunt, I'm a big believer in authenticity. If you want that kind of direct summary and analysis of big tech and where everything lies, go to the Angry CEO on TikTok. The Angry CEO is just me being really frank about the bullshit, this wool that's being pulled over our eyes on the daily, and how incumbent upon it is on us as an industry to fight back. So we'd like the Angry CEO on TikTok. You can kind of find that across socials, or go to specificity.com. Two easiest ways to get a hold of us.
Awesome. Guys, if you listen to this, you're going to find those links in the description below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And again, Jason, thank you so much for your time. It was awesome talking to you. And keep up the battle versus big tech. Every business out there that's looking to grow is supportive of the efforts that you're going after.
Yeah, appreciate it, Kyle. Thanks again for having me on, man. We always appreciate doing these podcasts.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.